All right, it's getting towards evening, but we need to get some progression on this project. So we're gonna get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, Ross the Oliver Man. This here New Holland is fixing for a new hydraulic pump. And we were waiting on some stuff. And since the last one, I have gotten that stuff. But we are going to switch over the things that are necessary, including this giant washer. I also realize you're about out of battery, so I don't know how long you'll be with us. Let's get rid of that schmutz. Giant washer. Then the new one does have a moon key. I ordered one just in case because I couldn't remember if it, well, actually I knew it had one, but I was thinking ahead. I thought, you know, if that were me, I would probably end up losing it at some point. So that's how it goes. I got this one pulled, this drive coupler pulled off of here. It was kind of a struggle bus. I had to put a puller on it, but it popped right off then. It's just a tapered fit. So then what we got to do is I ordered a new nut, and Buddy the dog is on an adventure. You have died, of course, as I knew you would, but we're going to keep plugging on. Yeah, it's getting kind of dark, but I'm going to keep going. Any old hoose. This is the old pump. And I found something out about it when I took it apart here. I can only turn it one direction. I can turn it the other way if I put a wrench on it and really pull, which tells me that we're probably doing this some good, because obviously something in there is not the way that it should be anymore. So, good deal. Now we will try to wedge ourselves back under there. I have a new gasket, which is super duper pliable and nice, so I'm glad that I went ahead and bought that, because yeah, the other one was very brittle and not nearly that nice. And we're going to attempt to bolt a new one on there and live our happy life. Get my fatness in here so we can assess the situation. Now, we're going to have a slight bit of struggle, because when I put this on, it was a lot warmer. Actually, if the sun was out, it would be about the same. Not quite. It was 75 when we took this apart. Now it's 55. But we need to put that O-ring in first. And we need to give this a quick perusal of cleanup / our magician's helper brake clean. So I want this to be as nice as possible, which this is not ideal, but this is really, really hard when you're fat. I mean, it's really hard. Nope. Okay, well, according to what they sent, I ain't got the right stuff. So that figures. So I guess what we need to do is try to find us an O-ring that's this size. And it'd be nice, wouldn't it, if I didn't have you totally blocked? I mean, this O-ring would probably work again, but let me see what I got first before we give in the towel. It's just frustrating that they never have like, it never works out. The stuff that's in the parts book just doesn't seem to match anything. And then we're always struggling. We're always having some type of an issue. And it's just not nice. So I'll get out of here and try to get that O-ring kit and see what we can find. Maybe it'd be better if I work up here for a while. Up above you. I mean, I hope you have a view of something because I can't even see that. But I'm up above you with an O-ring kit. And let's see if I can. Let's see here. What does that look like? Boy, that's pretty good right there. I think we're going to go with that one. Because I don't think that the next one up, I don't know. I mean, that, where is that one that I just threw away? I don't know, friends. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up between one and the t'other. Let me see if I can. Okay, yeah, we'll just go ahead and lose that. That's fine. Let's try this one. Okay, that one I think. Maybe that one's better. It's slightly bigger. Let's go with that. Slightly bigger. Let's put a slight little bit of Lubins on there just to help hold her on. Now, I think I'm going to put a slight little, an ever so slight little film of some of the good stuff right on here. Just to help. I just want it to taste it. Just taste it a little bit. Come on, baby. Come on. There we go. Now, we gotta make sure we know. Get this all out of whack. Let's try to get all four started. Come on. We're struggling, but we're getting it. Come on, I want to feel you turning in the threads right before I ever get any more. Yeah, see, that ain't gonna work. We're struggling. We're struggle bussing. We can't stand this bind that we've put our body in. Okay, Fats. Okay, how did we do this yet? I don't even remember. You Fiats, I tell you. Alright, let's get the back one. Okay. I'm really struggle bussing it, friends. I don't remember how we decided. I think we moved these lines out of the way somehow. I don't know what's happening here, but it's almost like that bolt's not started. I know it was pretty far out there, but gosh, it's a lot of... Come on, blue tractor of sadness. Gotta rest a minute. I feel the burn, friends. I feel the burn. It is crap. It hurts. Alright, I hope you can see our beautiful hydraulic pump. The next operation we're going to perform is bolting the suction tube to it. You know, that thing we just put the O-ring in? I want to double check and make sure that my O-ring is still in there good. I think we're good here. We'll put our light kind of back there. I know it's not a great view for you, but I'm over this project, friends, and I want this done. I don't want this to drag on, so I need to make the most out of every day I can. And I would rather do this in warmer weather like it is right now than in bitter, cold, freezing, terrible weather, because I just think that's better for it. And you will recall that these were Allen headed bolts. Maybe you recall that, maybe you don't. But we're certainly going to hope that we can get this going, because I just bet that this is also going to be a struggle. Why, you ask? Well, because absolutely everything else in life is that thing. Let's start with our shorter ratchet and extension that we just had. It might actually work better if I can get 2 hands in there. Come on, baby. Are we going? I don't think we are. Maybe we are. Yeah, okay. That's started. Now we want to do another one. Progressively, let's work our way to the front somehow. Oog, oog. I think that's gonna go right away. Let's just go ahead and we'll get the other one started too, whilst we're playing this game. If we can. Oh, well, you can be comfortable or you can get it started, but you can't have both. You can't have both. Well, now this one is going to play Not It. So let's turn this middle one in. Let's turn the middle one in. I think we can make this happen if we're just careful. Or not. What we might have to do, actually, instead of tighten that one, is loosen the back one. Maybe we got it too much. I knew this would be a struggle bus, because anytime you got a setup like this, where you're going into aluminum, 3 holes in opposing pattern, you know that you're in for some struggles. think I got it though. And see, you got to make sure it goes easy. You can't just hammer it home or you're going to have a very bad time because it's aluminum. You don't want to spend this money on these pumps and then immediately destroy them. I actually, I think it was Freddy, when I was putting a new pump on Freddy for the power steering, a bolt twisted off and I had to take it off and start all over. I'm pretty sure that was the one that happened to me on. And that really sucks, friends. I'm not going to lie to you. There's no positive spin on that. Double check. Okay. Ouch. We are on the way, friends. All right. I'm satisfied with that amount of progress for tonight. Pump's on, the suction tube's on. Tomorrow when daylight comes our way, we will go ahead and we will put the high pressure line on and a new filter. I got a wrench that'll do a 5.5 inch filter, so that'll take care of that. But you can see it's nighttime now, and I got lots of stuff I can work on, like video editing and things. I don't need to be out here all hours of the day or night. That's another reason why I'm not real hard up to build a nice shop, because then I would be out there all the time and I would get no rest of any kind. So I'm okay with going the way we're going here. So tomorrow we're gonna finish this up. Hopefully we're gonna get it running again. We're gonna try out the hydraulics. We're gonna hope that we improved it a lot and it'll still raise after a while. And then if that all goes well and life loves us and wants us to be happy, then the next thing we got to do is figure out our fuel leak and what we're going to do. Because I still say that thing they sent me is not the thing. So we'll have to sort that out and decide what we're going to do. But I would say the most difficult part is done. Putting that pump on and contorting yourself in that hole is the most difficult part. Everything else now you can work on in a normal human shape. You don't have to be crunched up to do said thing. So yeah, we're making it. It's taken longer than I wanted, but we're making it, and that's all that matters. All right, friends, it's the next day. Let's see if we can make some more progress on this feller. I have well, let's open the cab here so I got somewhere to set stuff. Also, there we go. That button is kind of tricky. It wants to stick in there. But we got our filter. I took it along to town. And we got our brand new filter wrench, which should do that thing. We'll have to get the 1/2 inch drive ratchet to do that thing. But that should work for us, and I think we will fill that filter with oil and put it on now, and then we will put our tube on, our top pressure tube, because what I'm thinking, based on working on one of the other ones of these older Fiats, I'm thinking about getting that all filled up and then cranking it over so that it squirts out a little bit of oil out of the top of the pump, and then put the line on so that our pump doesn't run dry, because it can get airlocked, or it could on that other one, and I don't like that idea. You know, brand new pump, it's got some assembly oil in it, but I really want it to have the best chance to get oil through it immediately, you know. So maybe they eliminated that problem by returning it back into the filter, like the pressure go. I don't know. I don't know how that all works. Maybe that's why they did what they did there, incorporating everything into that filter housing. But the point is, you know, we're gonna do it that way just because. Super cool thing, well, not cool, but side note on something else, I got a call this morning, or a message, and it said, you got a cow out. And I thought, oh, how is that fair? You know, I spent all this money on fence and there's a cow out. And I did hear Buddy the dog barking a lot last night, to the point that it even woke me up, and I thought, oh, wonder what's going on out there. So I hurried back home and drove down the road, and it's not my cow. It was another cow trying to get in, not my cows trying to get out. So that's awesome that we're to the point where my fence is keeping other cows out instead of mine breaking out. So I don't know, it sucks for the other people. I called them and said, hey, I think you've got a cow here loose, and it was not, I mean, it was way off the road. It wasn't anywhere close where it was gonna cause a problem. But yeah, that was a nice surprise, because I couldn't psych myself up about having to go chase a cow, you know. So there's that. Anywho's, enough nonsense. Let's, oh, I think I was gonna get this, whatever I need for this first. Let me go grab some tools, then we will fill that filter and probably set it back in the box, set it on the ground, and then I'll crawl down to the ground and then put it on. That's probably going to be the easiest way about it. Let's do a little test here. I hope this works. Yeah, it'll work. All right, well, I have no idea. Looks like you can maybe see a little bit, but this is going to be a good old ride on the struggle bus. I can see this happening. Ooh, I've already got it dirty though. That sucks. Oh. It's just the outside that I got dirty. But come on. I think we got her started. Seriously? That's that easy? It can't be. We didn't even drop it yet. That was a super duper expensive filter. So I can't believe we haven't had sadness with it yet. I mean, it was expensive. That's probably the most expensive filter I've ever bought. I gotta figure out how this goes, because I'm not real sure. How much you want to bet that this still, can I go back away from this? No? Okay. Well, sadness has struck us. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. What's going on here is, it's the loader frame again. The loader frame renders us in a bad way. Maybe I can trick it into participating. Yeah, I can. It's just gonna take a little bit longer to get that filter on there. We'll get it. It's the filter wrench takes a little bit of travel to get squeezed down, because like I said, it's made for like 5.5 max, and this one is 5, and it's a little over 5 1/4. So the extra travel on the thing is kind of biting me. Like I don't have the room because I've got all these hoses and stuff right coming through here. But I'm getting there. It's just a matter of trying to keep it under tension. All right. I think we're good. We're gonna call that good for now. It seems tight. Everything seems like we're good. So with that being done, now we're ready to put this pressure tube on. Oh, and the guy told me, by the way, while you're working on it, the block heater needs replaced. So I see that there. It's gigantic, friends. He said there's a new one in the cab somewhere. So I guess once we get this all back together, then we're gonna work on that too at some point. I really would like to do that for him since it's taken so long doing everything else. I need to get my pressure tube here. It actually has an O-ring and a backup ring in it. So that's what we're gonna do there. I'm really tempted to, well, let's wait on this a minute. Let's perhaps give it a crank over now. And hopefully we get some oil coming out of the top here. And then we'll okay. Let's get out of here. All right. Before we do anything, let's get this tube ready to go. Let's clean this end up. Let's make sure that what they sent on this is correct. See, we got an O-ring and a backup ring. And I think that's different than my other ones because I don't think that they have that. I'm not happy with all that either. I think we're gonna wire wheel that up really nice. All right, I'm gonna go clean this up and then I'll bring you back. All right, that's nice and clean and greased up. This backup ring is very, very thin, but I guess they thought it needed that thing. I can't say as I've ever had one blowout on the other Fiats, but I see that it's not participating. There we go. Is that gonna fit in there? It's gonna fit in there beautifully. All right. We'll set this, I think we're gonna set this aside a second. Like I said, I'd like to crank it and see if I could get some oil to come spraying out, or at least coming out a little bit, and then we'll put this on. So the untold thing though that I have to do first is put some oil back in it, you know. So I'll put some oil in it and then we'll give it a try. Oh, awesome. You haven't even been recording for who knows how long, I just realized. But what I was gonna do was crank it over and try to see if oil would come out, and I had you all set there, and then I realized the battery cable wasn't on, and then I put that on, and I went and cranked it, and it just goes clickety click. So we'll try it again, but I guess I'm gonna get the jump pack. Sounds like an angry woodpecker. I'll go get the jump pack and we'll see if we can make this go. And then I just want to crank it over a few times, see that oil's coming through, and then we can put it back together. That's all I want. I'm trying to help you, tractor, and you're purposely making it more difficult at every turn. Let me go get the jump pack. Oh, again, I almost forgot to push it forward. I'm struggling, friends. I'm struggling. Donkeys are even going off now. They feel my frustration. They know. 10.4 volts. 11.6 volts. That ain't very much. I don't know that battery pack is going to do it. Let's see what we got. Yep, okay, we're good. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted, was to make a mess. But luckily I have my cardboard creeper there, so don't freak out, environmentalists. But that is exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to squirt out some oil, and that way we know that it's in good shape, you know? So, let's put this line on now. Ooh, I gotta remember how this goes. Did it go behind there? Probably. Why are we being more difficult than we have to be? It'd be nice if we could also get this end started, so we're not fighting anything. Alright, let's do the top. Oh, come on, body. Maybe. It's taking a little bit here, friends, but it's okay. I would rather work out here than contort myself in there again for no reason. Tighten this one up evenly, and then call that tight there. Now we'll try to tighten this back up. I don't remember where we stood on this ordeal. We decided it was this size, but the paint is not helping us, maybe. Also the loader frame, that ain't helping us. Come on, you mama. Come on. Struggle buses. Struggle buses. We're almost there. Only got a little bit. Can only do a little quarter turn at a time. I should have wire wheeled off that nut. Made it easier for myself, and I didn't do that. It's starting to play along now. It's starting. Let me get a thinking stool. I think that was a big part of this process here, because it's going to take a while. You see, you've only got, because of the loader frame, you just don't have what you'd like to. And we decided that the loader wasn't worth taking off, because it's never been off. And I'd rather not I'd rather not take that journey if possible. And I definitely don't want to take it now after figuring out how to do all this without taking the loader off. So we don't want to start now. Let's clean that off a little bit. Clean off our mess and make a bigger one, sure. I like what I'm seeing though. I like what I'm seeing. All right, now I realized one more thing we forgot to do was these were in here somehow. I don't remember. Were they like, no. They would have had to. Now, Clamp, you didn't move, did you? I would think they were like that. That's how I was thinking they were. Or were they in there farther? I can't remember. Oh, no. I see where they were. That was for something else. I think we decided it must have had another piece of sheet metal at some point that isn't on here anymore. Or sheet plastic, if you will. So, let's put this on somehow. Probably not gonna play ball with us, but I think it'll go. I think things will happen if I just believe in myself. Come on, baby doll. Come on. Or not. Or not. I don't know about this. Do we want to be that way? I think it's going to take a two-hand job. Because I've got to hold it square whilst holding the clamp in the right spot. That's what's not working for me. There we go. Amazing how just a simple extra hand can make it feel so much better. Uh-oh. I just saw some sadness. I hope it's not really sadness. I hope that was lingering oil from before. That better be lingering oil from before. That better not be leaking. Let's see if we can get it to start. Yeah, I mean, it's got that fuel problem, so it takes some cranking after it's been sitting, but we might be able to get her. Okay, come on, baby doll. Okay, well, I'm guessing today's not going to be my day. So, we got several things that we could do here. For one, we need to desperately charge our jump pack. It's not right. I mean, it's dead. So there's that. I hate to leave you a video where we know nothing, but I think we got enough footage for a video. I think we do. And we got it back together. That's the important thing. So maybe in the next one, we will do some testing and see, because we're gonna have to run it for half an hour, 45 minutes to know that we got it fixed. You know, make sure that the loader still goes up and down at an idle. And that'll do. So I think that's where we're going to leave this one. I hate to do that, but I can put the charger on the battery. We can have that going. We can have the jump pack charged up. And then hopefully in the next one, we'll try it out, we'll find it works, and then we'll start tackling another of its problems, you know. I did not see, which I can look again. I love opening this door that the button doesn't return, but is this it back here? Okay, block heater. And look at that, it's gigantic. It's the big nut. So we'll set that up there. We'll clean out all of our trash out of the cab. Anyway, yeah, I hate to leave you hanging, but we got her back together, so I'm gonna call this video here. I'll get everything else ready to go so that later on tonight when I get back, we can maybe fire it up and see what happens. So, just kidding, I got it running. Let's see if it, hydraulic. Okay. Uh-oh. I see a drippity drip. Well, where's it leaking? That ain't good. Oh, that's diesel fuel. That diesel fuel leak is getting way worse. Well, we need to be careful that we don't torch this thing. I guess when I was messing with it, I made it leak worse. Well, that doesn't seem right either. Did we know that our exhaust hits our loader frame if it's all the way up? Sure. Well, I think that leak actually calmed down. But that's definitely diesel fuel. Well, I gotta leave again, unfortunately, so I think I really will go ahead and call this video here. But you got to see it run, and you know that the hydraulics work again. So it can't be worse than it was. It can only be better. We will try it though after a while. We'll start it up and we'll run it around for a good while like we did when we first got it. And then we'll compare. And if it's still, unfortunately, he did not leave me a fork or a bucket or anything, because that would really tell me whether it was working, if I could lift under a load. But beforehand, when we tried it, after a while, it would not even lift at an idle. It wouldn't even lift this empty at an idle. So, you know, it would be much worse and noticeable with a load on it. You'd notice it probably wouldn't pick up anything at all, but it wouldn't even pick up the empty boom unless you revved it way up. So we're gonna start with that and see if it'll keep doing that, and then maybe I hate to chain something to it because I don't want to bend anything, but I don't know, we'll figure out something. And then once we know that's good, we'll move on to the next stuff. But we definitely got to address this diesel fuel leak, because it appears like it's worse. Maybe it was just worse because it sat for a while, but I don't know that we're going to be able to fix it, because I think there's more wrong than just what meets the eye. Like I told him, I think his injection pump's leaking, and I can't do much about that other than pull a pump and send it off, and I really don't want to do that. But I can fix his return lines if I can make that thing that we ordered work. It doesn't seem like it's right, but maybe it is. We're gonna go ahead and call this one here. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.